Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeff U-Haul. I'm an independent historian and reconstructive archaeologist. I just finished a dissertation. It was a structural, functional, comparative analysis of Publius Cornelius Scipio Africanus of the Second Punic War and Federigo da Montefeltro of the early Renaissance as paragons of martial virtue in their respective periods of Italian culture. And if you're wondering why you're here, it's probably because you watched a historical video or a fencing video, and then I popped up on your screen. Well, I'm here with this channel because I want to help impart a better understanding of the utility of historical and of history and the historical process from a graduate perspective and from the perspective of somebody that has a lot of atypical history and other things teaching experience. So typically an undergraduate winds up taking history classes, and they revolve around dates, actors, relationships, and events. And as you go through more undergraduate historical training, you start to focus on relationships. And then when you make the giant transformation into a graduate historian, well, all of a sudden everything becomes source analysis and analysis of the people that are also analyzing. And so then you have this very abstract removal from events, and you are understanding things almost completely abstractly. If you're a fan of Bloom's taxonomy, that makes complete sense. If you're unfamiliar with Bloom's taxonomy, well, I'm glad you're here. I want to help people understand the world through the eyes of historical problem solving. I created a model called the procedural cognition framework, and it's a method of understanding complex information that is designed to help you go through the process of learning about a thing or a process or a procedure or a system in a way that you can replicate and do over and over again so that you can become better at thinking. Now, I know that seems silly, right? Like me and the boys sitting around thinking about thinking, but it's actually an important thing. Practicing deliberate thinking is one of the only ways that you can make yourself better at thinking. And I know it's really hard to just come up with the time to do that. So having a model that helps you look at complex things, getting better at looking at complex things so that you can do it faster, means that you're going to get more out of the process the more you do it. So I am here with this channel because I'm going to give you bits and pieces of information that I hope will help you have a better ability to use the historical process to navigate your lives. To me, it's extremely important. Again, I'm an independent historian. I don't work for a university. I actually coach boxing and MMA for a living, and I'm a historical fencer. So you might say, oh, well, you don't have any experience teaching history. That's what a lot of people would like you to base your understanding of teaching on. And really, when it comes down to it, I have taught history. I've taught history to varying degrees. I taught history to soldiers in the Army. I taught at least the nominal things about American government to soldiers. I taught Semitic history to third graders. But I've been teaching boxing or some element of unarmed or armed combat to people for over 20 years. And a big part of that has been working with different age ranges and teaching them complex motions and understanding physics well enough and physiology well enough to be able to have people have a more holistic understanding of why you do certain complex movements the way that you do them, usually for the sake of efficiency. All of that being said, I am going to teach you historical analytical procedures in a way that most historians won't teach it because they themselves either haven't been taught it in a way that didn't revolve around just looking at history books, or because they just never received the training themselves. And it took me a very roundabout path to be able to come up with a way of understanding history that I think is going to be very helpful for either the average person that has no historical training or even for people that have way more historical training than I do. Is that maybe a bit bold of me to say? Probably, but I think that the proof will be in the ephemeral pudding if you keep watching. So, again, my name is Jeff Uhal. I'm an independent historian and a reconstructive archaeologist, and I want to help you understand the world better through history.